Welcome, friends. Bring it in to your manly moment of ASMR. Now, what you see before you is a classic battle of IPAs, West Coast IPAs, Firestone Walker versus Stone IPA. And they are both Southern California West Coast IPAs. A little bit different. Firestone Walker tends to be, or some have said it's a little more experimental. Some have said that Stone IPA can be a little more tropical, more fruit forward. But let's be the judge of this. So I purchased a pack, the Firestone Walker 12-pack, which includes Luponic Distortion, the standard Firestone IPA, Firestone Union Jack, and Hopnosis. And I've had a couple of these Stone. I have regular Stone IPA, and I have a Stone Delicious Double IPA. So we'll do a little taste test and see which one will reign victorious in the land of IPAs, at least West Coast style. Now, some of you may be wondering, Jeremiah, the beers are open and poured. Why are you not doing more crack and pour sounds? Because I just filmed this video, and my audio, there is a phantom power button, which, for reasons unknown, had been switched off. So all of my previous audio on the first take was destroyed or never recorded in the first place. So I'm doing a bit of a round two, so this is not quite an original reaction, but it's I'm having the same feelings the second time I'm sipping these beers. So without further ado, we will start off with the Union Jack. Union Jack is one of my all-time favorite IPAs. It is a classic West Coast IPA, light in color, certainly lighter in color if you notice the two. If you notice this compared to the Stone IPA, the Stone IPA is notably darker, a bit more amber in color. But let us try these two. We'll start off with the Union Jack by Firestone Darlings, and let's see what we think. Ooh, that's a bright hoppy nose. And it's very, it's very pine, lots of citrus notes. It's bright, it's kind of an effervescent IPA. It's got that really, citrusy, summery, it just hits you in the nose with hops. And the taste is, boy, that's great. That's everything I want in IPA right there. That is bright. It is effervescent on the tongue. It is very hop forward, very hop forward. There's a bitterness on the back of my tongue that I really like. If you're an IPA drinker, boy, that Union Jack, starting off with that's a banger right there. Let's try the Stone IPA. Now, Stone IPA, about the same alcohol volume, I believe 6.9, and the Union Jack is 7, about the same. And let's try the Stone IPA. And survey says the nose is much more subtle. Definitely a bit nuttier. Definitely nuttier, not as hop forward, not nearly as citrusy or like piney. It's much more malty, nutty. Delicious. Look, that's a great IPA too. You know, it doesn't have the that hop punch that IPA drinkers may be looking for, but it's still very good. It's just not as bright. It's not as floral. Okay, bit heavier, bit different tongue feel. It coats the tongue more. It's not as like fizzy on the tongue. which do you prefer? I don't know. I can say for me, I like the Firestone Walker a bit more. A bit. These are both great IPAs. But I'm going to give a slight nod to the Union Jack over Stone. Now we're going to move on to the Firestone California IPA. So this is just Firestone IPA. Let me freshen the glass a little bit here so I get a little pour action. And let's try the Firestone Standard, if you will. Firestone Walker IPA. Ooh. Boy, it's still phenomenal. Much like the Union Jack, I get a lot of citrus notes. Okay, this is a hop forward beer. The color is more almost like a Pilsner, so this is not hazy at all. This is a bright, crisp, bitter, bitter IPA. It really hits the back of your tongue there in a very pleasant way. Not mad about that at all. Ooh, how do I feel about it compared to the Union Jack? It's a little extra here. Okay. And compared to the Union Jack, well, boy, I think the regular Firestone's brighter. It is. You know what? The regular Firestone's a little crisper. Which would I prefer? Ooh, that's a real coin toss. I don't know. I'd say that this one, the normal Firestone, is actually a little. It would occur to me as like a little hoppier than the standard Union Jack, but both. Boy, that's good. But both are brighter, hoppier, more floral than Stone IPA. But let's try it compared to the Delicious Double IPA. Now this is different. This is a 9.4%. Okay, and whenever you have beers that are this alcoholic, they tend to change their flavor a little bit. They almost go into the land of like Belgian triples. Again, nuttier, way less hops, way less citrus, a lot more malt, much maltier. This is definitely it's called Delicious IPA, and I would describe it as delicious. However, this is more for the stout drinker. This is more for somebody who enjoys a darker beer, and you can certainly see the color difference, like the nice kind of almost amber color versus the the standard Firestone. So you can see there's a clear, darker color to it, and with that darker color, with the higher alcohol content, I believe it tastes to me like you're kind of dipping into that Belgian triple territory. Smooth beer, strong beer, high alcohol content, like anything about like 9%. You had to really dip into this flavor profile. It's tasty. It's smoother on the tongue. It's more malty. It's way less effervescent. It's not as bright. Nuttier is a really way I would describe that. So if you enjoy that, you're going to love this beer. If you're looking for that like really bright, bitter, hoppy, citrus floral thing, I recommend you stick with Firestone Walker as your main beer of choice. Now, I happen to have two more Firestone Walkers in this pack. We have the Hopnosis IPA, and we also have the Luponic Distortion. Curious how these two are going to stack up against the first two, but let's do a little palate cleanse. Last time I did an IPA tasting, I had like a missvickies chip tasting experience as well. They have a new flavor. Okay, they just released this. I didn't even know they did this. I bought the pack of the mixed pack of chips, and suddenly I noticed there's now spicy dill flavor. My friends, this is my new favorite chip. If you can smell that chip, just put your nose in there. Just put your nose in there, give that a smell. That is the most, I love pickles, and that is this wonderful spicy dill, and it makes for an incredibly satisfying chip. Boy, that hits a lot of buttons. Man. Boy. If you see missvickies spicy dill pickles, I have zero brand affiliation with these people. It's just an amazing potato chip. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay. Palate moderately cleansed. Now let's try the Hopnosis IPA, 6.7%. Okay, still a strong beer. And let's see what she says. It's oddly enough, this is actually a lighter color than even the Union Jack. The Union Jack is actually darker than the Hopnosis. Let's give it a smell. Very similar. Bright, floral, hop forward, citrusy. You know it's going to be bitter, but I like that in a beer. So this is weirdly refreshing. With a name like Hopnosis, you kind of almost think it's going to be like a darker beer, more almost like the double, or even more like a stone. But nope, this is actually more. I would almost say it's lighter than the standard, Firestone Walker IPA, or even the Union Jack. I mean, in a weird way. In spite of its like kind of dark can, the dark green can, and the name Hopnosis. In a way, that's almost lighter. It's got a very clean, crisp flavor. But if I'm also being really honest, I mean, if I was doing a blind taste test, I could tell the difference between the Firestone and the Stone. That they taste different. Even the Stone, to the delicious. Yeah, the delicious is kind of like the Stone plus. It's like the Stone on steroids. If you like that nuttier, smoother IPA flavor, if you like that the tongue texture, like that smoother, the smoother characteristic, you are going to really enjoy the Stone family. Yeah, this is just kind of like I said, regular Stone, kicked up a notch, bolder, nuttier, higher alcohol, smoother, more Belgian triple flavor on the tongue. Wonderful beer. The Firestone so far. Brighter, hoppier, more citrus. Phenomenal. Hopnosis is definitely, it's not like the heavier beer by any means. In fact, I'd almost say Hopnosis is in a way almost lighter than these two. But let's try our final beer, Luponic Distortion. Again, name, that hops on the can, Luponic Distortion. Only 5.9%. So this is actually the lowest alcohol content beer of the group. The lowest alcohol content. It's interesting. We'll pour out a little more, just for posterity. And instantly, the nose reminds me of, like, I'm going to say that Firestone Walker, these guys don't mess around with their hops. This is the land. If you like citrusy, floral, bright IPA, Firestone Walker is your jam. And Luponic Distortion, again, got that bright nose, got that citrus punch. It's just like it's hoppy, bitter hoppy. Not as effervescent. This does not have the quite the bubble effect of the three other IPAs. A little smoother in a weird way, like less bubbles on the tongue. Overall, I would say, interestingly enough, certainly the Firestone Walker brand, there's a taste to it. Yeah, whether or not you prefer or enjoy that, that's up to you. I happen to really like it. Boy, that's a Luponic Distortion is a beautiful smelling IPA. Just slightly less bright than the other three. So yeah, so Luponic, Hopnosis, yeah, it's just a tiny bit brighter, but ever so subtle. And then the standard Firestone Walker IPA. It's fizzier. It's a fizzier beer. It's more summery beer. It's it's just a delightful West Coast IPA. And the old Union Jack. What we began with. Boy. Hard to say which is my absolute favorite. It's probably these two. It's probably the Union Jack or the Firestone. I think the Stone IPAs are wonderful beers. Okay, I really enjoy them. However, if I had to choose, which 12-pack of mixed beer I would get, whether it be Stone or Firestone Walker, I'm going to give my nod to Firestone Walker. So, Union Jack, Firestone Walker. To me, personally, you've won today's taste test challenge. You are making amazing beer. If you're an IPA drinker like I am, I like that incredibly bright, bitter, hoppy citrus, like in your face IPA. And for that reason, I'm giving the win today by a narrow margin to Firestone Walker. Stone IPA, love you. Great West Coast IPA. a little nuttier, a little maltier, different tongue feel, not as effervescent. If that's more your jam, awesome. Because remember, the important thing is not what I think, it's what you think. The best beer on planet Earth is the beer that you enjoy the most. Okay? So that's what's important, is that it's whatever you enjoy the most. So thank you for joining me on this Memorial Day weekend into the land of West Coast IPAs, and hope you celebrate. Always celebrate responsibly. Do not drink and drive. And I will look forward to talking to you all very soon. Take care, my friends. Sweet dreams. And one more thing. If you would like to see my wife's reaction to these 6 beers, head on over to my Patreon, and you can see which one she prefers the most over on Patreon. So again, thank you so much, everybody, and we'll look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care.